this is Charlie from Charlie's Awesome World of Adventures. Well, Captain America Brave New World out tomorrow at the time I'm recording this. It now seems like a good time to take a look at the Captain America films. And the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, of course. Alright, now I'm going to do all of these in their own separate videos. So like, this one's on Captain America the First Avenger. The next one will be on Captain America the Winter Soldier. The next one will be on Captain America Civil War. And then the final one will be on the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Okay? Okay. I was originally going to do the 3 Captain America films in one video. But I do have quite a bit to say on each of them. So I thought, it'd be better if I did them all in their separate videos. So that the way, let's go and begin with Captain America the First Avenger, which is actually the first chronological event that takes place in the MCU. Yeah, I'm joking. Well, this was the 5th film released. This film takes place. It's a long time before events such as Iron Man and the Incredible Hulk or Thor. Anyway, I remember watching this back in 2023, and I thought the film was just meh. So I was hoping on this rewatch that my opinion would change. And yeah, I still think this is meh. In fact, I think this is probably the most mid-MCU film. Like, it's not to say that the film's bad or anything, not at all. But out of all the Captain America films, I'll easily say now that this is easily the weakest one. There are a few positives which I'll get into now. Though. One, I really like all the side characters. So I think they're really strong and decent. Like, they don't have huge roles in the film. But what they offer is quite solid. I especially like Peggy Carter, just like Steve's love interest, as who is quite interesting. Speaking of Steve, while I do think Chris Evans does give a great performance, I would be lying if I said that I really loved him here. Yeah, like, Steve just feels like the generic hero that starts off all powerless and then end up giving these powers to be shown to be more than just a small insignificant guy. Not huge on him. The same can kind of be said for or the villain Red Skull, but I'll get to him and we get into the negatives. If other positives, the film really doesn't hold back on the action. Seriously, the action scenes are easily the highlights of the film, like they are with any MCU film. They really know how to pick up the intensity and make the most of the gases they would have during the World War II era. Also, one thing I like is subtle humour. And the film does do a good job at using subtle humour. Giving some really decent gags. Like, I wouldn't say this is the funniest MCU film, but for the most part, jokes are decent and can give a good chuckle. Cool. But there are also times where they can be really funny. Especially with the Stan and Lee cameo. Like they're presenting Captain America, and then they got who's actually not Captain America, and then Stan Lee's character's like, I thought he'd be taller. That just got a great laugh out of me. Like, the Stan Lee cameos were easily some of the best parts of the films in the Infinity Saga. Rather how big or small they were. But that was definitely one of the funniest. Yes, I also really love the costume design for this film. All the costumes really feel like they fit the time on very well. I especially like the original Captain America suit with the original shield, and how it transitions into the main one later in the film. However, this movie is definitely not without its problems. because, man, it does have quite a few. Which is why this is the most mid-MCU film. One is that I don't really think there's much happening with the story. In fact, out of all the origin stories for the MCU, this is probably the most basic one. It's literally like a war movie with a bit of an MCU feel to it. Unless you're really interested in these wartime movies, I'm not entirely sure or if this one will easily be the one for you, as it feels like it's going for an extremely niche group of people outside of the Marvel fans. And also, I was not a huge fan of Red Skull as the villain. Then, I know the early MCU villains aren't the best things from the movies, but when they were good, they were pretty good. But yeah, Red Skull kind of sucks. It's just like a basic villain. Look, and his reappearance in both Infinity War and Endgame didn't change that for me. Also, the visuals are quite dull in this film. Outside of the action scenes and the costume designs, and there's not much I'd say about this film that is visually pleasing, unlike all the other MCU films, especially with the CGI. I'm not going to fully blame this movie, since the film was released nearly 14 years ago. My God. Actually, I'm like 4 years older than this. It's film. Yeah, I'm not going to slam the visuals hard or anything. But yeah, the CG has definitely not aged well. Especially when he reveals Red Skull's face. I was I remember watching that for the first time. I was cringing, that didn't do much for me. I'll give it the CGI. I'm giving it kind of a pass, but that still doesn't mean that it's great. Also, I didn't really get the relationship between Steve and Peggy. Granted, some of the moments are huge, but I don't really get the interest in them, and I don't really feel the chemistry. But there is one question that I've had about this film: how was Steve still able to survive and look young, 70 years being trapped in that iceberg? I understand, and that they have to have a time jump with him still in fact regular form. Also, the other films can happen in the MCU. But literally, he would have easily thrown through there. If that was something that made more sense, a time he accidentally fell through a time portal and got sucked in the future, then I would have kind of understood it a bit more. But other than that, I really don't understand how the ending works. It feels like it was only made just so that they could have Captain America as a main hero in the MCU. But other than that, Captain America: The First Avenger is easily the most film from the MCU. It definitely has some good parts, like some strong acting, solid side characters, some decent costume design, and some strong action, but with a very dull story that feels like it's going for a niche audience. It's a pretty weak hero, a pretty bad villain, and CGI and visuals that haven't aged well, along with a confusing ending. It's safe to say that Captain America's adventures in the MCU weren't off to the best start. If you are looking into the MCU, I recommend to watch this film at least once to see how you feel about it. As it is important to the MCU, but how you feel afterwards may vary. I'm not saying this film is bad or anything, but compared to all the other films in the MCU, I don't think they ever got more meh than this one. 5 out of 10. But at least I can say it gets better with the others. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. And stay tuned on my review on the massive improvement on Captain America, the Winter Soldier. And I'll see you next time. Bye!